Nigel, good morning. I think many of us are surprised with perhaps the result and the performance over in Portugal. Did Sporting Lisbon surprise you?
Um, yeah, it's working. Um, they surprised us not really. I mean, we knew them from before and from videos before that they will come out strong as well as home. But every opponent is doing that against us nowadays. Come out strong in the first 20 25 minutes. Um, on that aside, they did a good job, and that's why they deserved the 1-0 victory at home. But lucky for us, we have still a second game tomorrow, so we can go through in that next game.
It's unusual that Manchester City should lose two games back to back. The last time you did that, I think you went on a run that was 9 wins, a draw, and a defeat. You need to get that sort of consistency again, don't you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you want to go through to the next round, you have to win tomorrow. It's that easy. And now with the 1 goal difference, but with 2 or 3 goals difference. So, yeah, everybody got that confidence in them for tomorrow. And what I already said, we were lucky that we have a two-game two-game start to go to the next round. And for tomorrow as well, we just have to be concentrated and try to win.
Just wondering, was there an element of tiredness at the weekend because you stayed in Portugal? We all came home, got our rest. Was there a kind of hangover from Portugal and staying there with the performance against Swansea?
Not really. I mean, obvious. There's a lot of traveling going on the last couple of weeks, but it's not only us. A lot of teams in the Premier League are suffering from a lot of traveling, so we're not the only one. So I don't think that is an excuse. Um, so we just have to forget that, and that we're gonna be the best, and just concentrate on the next game, and that's tomorrow against Sporting.
The owner wants to win this competition. The owner wants to win the Premier League as well. The manager likewise, and all of you. Can you do the two things? Do you need, in essence, the Europa League when you're going for the Premier League?
Of course, I mean, we always said in the beginning of the season we want to go and compete in many competitions as we can. We're still in the Europa League and we're still in the race for the Premier League title, so that's going to be our aim till the end of the season. I mean, we came so far, so we just have to fight and be concentrated towards the end, and that means it's not only the Premier League but also the Europa League. And obviously, it takes a lot of strength and a lot of power from us. But I mean, we got a big enough squad to realise that.
In England, of course, you've been leading the way for so long, 5 months now. You're looking at Manchester United. Is that an easier position, maybe with the pressure off, or is the pressure now on because people are saying they're stronger and perhaps City are faltering?
No, I don't think. I don't think there is any advantage or disadvantage in which position you have in the league table. I mean, if it is 1 point above or 2 points above, of 1 point under or 2 points above, it doesn't have any difference. I mean, we just have to do and focus what we do, and United will do the same. So at the end of the race, we'll see who's going to be crowned as a champion. But for us as a team, there is no any pressure at all.
Final point from me. Do you think they'll take that game against Bilbao seriously tomorrow night, bearing in mind that the Premier League means everything to them, and perhaps one competition will suit them better than two for you?
No, if I know United want to go for every aspect, so in every competition, so they will take any game serious, especially in this stage, because the Europa League is still a good competition to win and a good cup to win. So they take any game at this stage very serious.
Nigel,
Yeah.
it's often said that the Europa League is a distraction, and players say that playing Thursday night, Sunday night is difficult. Can you explain how it disrupts your preparations to play Thursday, Sunday? Is it any different to Wednesday, Saturday? It just seems a bit unusual.
No, it's just the fact that you don't have so many options to do some training session outside. I mean, if you have 2 games on a short bounce, it is hard to get everybody in shape for the next game. I mean, you have to do with especially recovery after the next game. So, after the game from Sunday, if you got a game on Thursday, so that's the only part. But most of the guys are used to it as well. So, and what I already said, we have a big enough squad to deal with it as well.
So do you feel what happened in Lisbon had any effects in Swansea in terms of tiredness? Was there a kind of a connection?
No, not really. I mean, you know that every game from now on is a final. and that sounds for us, but also for United. So we just had to go there and try to win. And obviously we wasn't 100% concentrated, so that's why we lost.
Nigel, Andy Johnson, BBC Television. How keen are the players to see Carlos Tevez back in the first team?
Everybody's keen. I mean, he's still a player for Manchester City, so we never doubt that. Of course, he has some difficulties with the club, but he is here now, and we like to look to the future instead of the past.
What difference do you think he could make to your side in the run-up to the title being decided?
Everybody can make a difference, and he as well. I mean, everybody knows his qualities. Nobody ever doubted his qualities. It was just the fact of him having some difficulties with the club. But in the group and as a player, he never changed. And I think the qualities that he has is always an asset for every team, and also for us at this stage.
Nigel, would you say you're in two competitions now? Do you need to win one of them for this season to be a success? Or can it be a success if you make progress and finish second in the league and qualify for Champions League?
No. For us, our main target is to win a prize. Our main goal was the Premier League. That didn't change from this season. And obviously we're still now in the Europa League. Due to the fact that we were knocked out early in the Champions League. So for us, it's are still two main competitions and main leagues to win. So for us, the only way that can succeed this season is to win one of the prizes.
So even if like second would represent progress from last season, for you it wouldn't be enough really. You want silverware like last season?
No, of course. I mean, after we won the FA Cup last season, everybody is hungry for more, and that has to be the ambition of this club. And that has to be always that way from last season on. So we always go for the prizes, and we will be very disappointed if we at the end of the day we will stand there with no trophies.
Nigel, you and Manchester City have been leading the Premier League since October. I mean, does mental tiredness come into it when you're competing directly with another club at the end of a very long season?
Well, I mean, you got to be mental strong. I mean, it's a long season, and what we already discussed just now is that we're still in the two competitions, and it takes a lot from the players and the squad as well. But it's not only we that we have to suffer that. It's the whole Premier League that has to suffer from a long season. So we bought players in for a reason. Because to make the squad bigger and stronger, and you can't have any excuses at the end of the day. I mean, the only excuse you can have is that you didn't put enough in.
Nigel, there are two Dutch players in Sporting Lisbon, Stein and Wolfswinkel. What do you think of them?
They're very good players. I mean, I don't know from Wolfswinkel that much. But I've seen him a couple of times on television. I know Stein personally as well, because we play together in the Dutch squad and against each other in the Dutch league. And they're very good players, especially for the team for Sporting. Important players for them as well. You could see that in the home game last week. And I predict them a good future as well.
Nigel, is it fair on Carlos and the squad to place so much expectancy on him, because the fans seem to be getting carried away by the fact that he could be playing again next week? He's not played since September. I mean, is that fair on him, and is it also maybe slightly unfair on players like Sergio and Dzeko that have been playing and scoring this season, that people are now not relying on them?
It's not a fact about being fair, yes or no. Obvious, everybody know the history, what he had with the club, or do the fact with the staff. But for us, the main goal at this season is to win the Premier League, and nobody can distract us from anything. So if that means Carlos has to be part of it, even if for the last couple of games of the season, so be it. And I mean, that doesn't change the fact that all the strikers that we have in the team are important as well for us as a squad. So I think it's just an asset and a big help towards the end of the season.
Nigel, you been to a World Cup final with Holland.
Yeah.
obviously try to win that tournament. How does that pressure compare with trying to win the Premier League? For a club that's not won the Championship here since 1968.
Yeah, it's different. A tournament is different than a whole season of Premier League because you only have a couple of weeks on a tournament. I understand what you're saying about pressure. The World Cup final is the biggest pressure for every football player around the world to win a World Cup. So, in that fact, the pressure is high. But if you talk about the during of a season or about a tournament is different, and I think the pressure of a Premier League is much more bigger and longer, obvious, because the season is so long. So it's two completely different things. But what I already said, just have to be focused at the end of the season, and then we'll see what happens.
And as I say, because this club hasn't won a championship since 1968, do you sort of feel that you want to do it more because of that for the fans itself?
Yeah, of course. It's been a while. Obvious that we won a Premier League title, and everybody's hungry for more success after the win of the FA Cup last season. So that was also our main target in the beginning of the season, to go for the Premier League, and we're still in the race. We still got a couple of games in front of us. Obvious, United is now 1 point above us, but that doesn't change the fact that we're still in the competition to win the Premier League. So everybody's eager, everybody's still hungry for that title, and let's focus ourselves first on tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens for next week.